Jai Shriman Narayana. Hello everyone, I am the Poundraka. Welcome to the 52nd episode of Mahabharata as written by sage Vedavyasa. This is the second episode of sabhaparva. Yuddhishtira, who was elated with the presence of Narada Muni, curiously asked him about the Sabhas that are greater than my Sabha. Then Narada started explaining. Dharmaraja, Indrasabha shines with the glow of sun. It is 100 yojanas long and 150 yojanas wide. It has the ability to move at will. There is no place for fear, sickness or sorrow in that Sabha. Devendra lives there with his wife Sachi Devi. Surrounded by the Devatas and Marudganas, Devendra like a radiant sun rules the Sabha. Sages like Valmiki, Gautama, Jaratkaru, Brihaspati, Sukracharya, Rajarshi Harishchandra, planets, stars, mantras serve Devendra there. Now let me tell you about Yamasabha. Note to the audience, here Narada is describing Yamasabha and not Narakam or hell. That Sabha is 100 yojanas long and 100 yojanas wide. It can change its form at will. It is a bright place where temperatures can be regulated. There is no place for sorrow, hunger and thirst there. Many kings like Yayati and Nahusha serve Yama there. Now hear about Kuberasabha. It is 100 yojanas long and 150 yojanas broad, shining like Mount Kailasa. With precious gems, great fragrances and white clouds, it floats in the air. Decked in fine jewellery, dressed in precious clothes, Kubera sits on the throne in the Sabha. Wafting the fragrances from beautiful gardens, the cool breeze too serves Kubera, along with many Apsaras, Kinnaras, Naras, Gandharvas, Brahmarshis, Devarshis, Pisachas and Rakshasas. Sometimes, surrounded by thousands of Bhutaganas, Bhutanada Parameshwara, along with Parvati, visits his friend Kubera. Then, there is one Sabha with no match to it. That is Brahmasabha. It is beyond dimensions and not for everyone. I heard about it from Surya Deva and did a great tapasya to enter the Sabha myself. No words can describe it. It can transform its form entirely in 1 second. It has no pillars to support. In that Sabha, Lord Brahma will be creating universes one after the other. Prajapatis will be serving him there. Many sages, stars, Chandradeva, Surya Deva, Vayu Deva, Gandharvas, Apsaras and many humans who served their gurus serve Brahmadeva there. Yuddhishtira heard it carefully and asked, while most of the kings are in Yamasabha, how did King Harishchandra get a place in Indrasabha? Then Narada said that he could achieve such position as he performed the Rajasuya yaaga. And even King Pandu met sage Narada and told him to ask Yuddhishtira to perform Rajasuya yaaga so that like Harishchandra, he too can attain a position in the Indrasabha. Since the moment Narada said so, Yuddhishtira started thinking only about the Rajasuya yaaga. He consulted his ministers, his priest Dhaumya and Vyasa, and everybody opined that he is worthy enough to perform Rajasuya yaaga. However, Yuddhishtira, who still remained unconvinced, sent a messenger to Dwaraka to Sri Krishna Paramatma. The messenger said, Sri Krishna, King Yuddhishtira along with Dhaumya and Vyasa and the kings of Panchala and Matsya requested a meeting with you. On hearing the words of the messenger Indrasena, Sri Krishna started on fastest of the vehicles to Indraprastha. After meeting his dear aunt and cousins, Krishna Paramatma rested in his chambers. When he freshened up, Yuddhishtira took his time and met him and told him about the idea of Rajasuya yaaga. Krishna, while my friends and ministers opined that I can perform Rajasuya yaaga, their interest rests in keeping me pleased. However, you are beyond all such emotions, so I want to know your opinion on the subject. Mine is just the desire. You are the one who knows the ways to achieve it. Then Krishna said, Yuddhishtira, you are very much worthy of performing Rajasuya yaaga. I know that you know everything. However, as you have asked me, let me tell you. Son of Jamadagni Parasurama had killed all the Kshatriyas of the world. the ones who managed to stay alive are much lesser than the ones who died. The Kshatriyas who survived made a rule among themselves that to be an emperor, one should win all the Kshatriyas. At this point of time, even the smallest of the kings are considering themselves as the descendants of Ikshvaku and Pururava. There are 100 lineages among such kings right now. By defeating many Kshatriyas and looting their kingdoms, Jarasandha established himself as the emperor. Most of the world right now is under his control. The valorous Sisupala had become his commander-in-chief. The very powerful ruler of Karusha, Dantavaktra, Karabha, Meghavahana are also on his side. Now listen, to the west there is Yavana king Bhagadatta, the ruler of the kingdoms Mura and Naraka. He is a good friend of your father. Though the old king is completely submitted to Jarasandha, in his heart he has great affection for you like a father. Now, the king ruling from the west to the south is your dear uncle Purujit, the descendant of Kunti Bhoja. He loves you a lot. Then, there is another eccentric creature whom I didn't bother to kill earlier. That is the ruler of Vanga, Pundra and Kirata kingdoms named Poundraka. He dresses himself like me and believes that he is a blessing to the humanity. Famous by name Poundraka Vasudeva. Maharaja, the king who rules 1/4 of the earth, a friend of Indra, the one who have conquered Pandya, Krata, Kaisika kingdoms, is a king by name Bhsihmaka. He worships Jarasandha. Though he is Rukmini's father, he considers us as his enemies and Jarasandha as his friend. The 18 Bhoja lineages in the north too moved to the west due to the fear of Jarasandha, and many others ran away to the south. Few years ago, Kamsa married 2 of Jarasandha's daughters and put his own family under immense torture. On the request of the elders of Bhoja lineage, Balarama and I killed Kamsa. While we thought that the Kamsa's problem was resolved, Jarasandha started attacking us. Kamsa's wife went to her father Jarasandha seeking revenge. He attacked us 17 times. Jarasandha used to have 2 followers by names Hamsa and Dimbaka who cannot be killed by any astra. The trio were almost invincible in all the 3 worlds. But in one of our battles, Balarama killed another king by name Hamsa. Someone said randomly that Hamsa died and Dimbaka, in deep sorrow, entered into Yamuna and killed himself. Then Hamsa too thought he cannot live in a world without Dimbaka and he too killed himself by drowning in Yamuna. Upon their deaths, Jarasandha was upset and withdrew from the battle. Vexed by his constant attacks on Mathura, we shifted our base to Dwarka and built an impenetrable fort there. In our lineage, we are 18,000 brothers who are in your support, and we believe you possess all the traits to be a Samrat, an emperor. You should convince all other Kshatriyas too to be a Samrat. Out of respect for you, Duryodhana, Drona, Ashwadhama, Sisupala, Rukmi, Ekalavya, Dhruma, Shweta and Shakuni might not fight you in a battle. But as long as Jarasandha is alive, it is impossible for you to perform Rajasuya. Like a lion which cages elephants in caves, Jarasandha had kept many kings as prisoners in Girivrajapura. He is planning to sacrifice them for great powers. So, to perform Rajasuya Yaga, find a way to kill Jarasandha and free the kings who are imprisoned by him, said Sri Krishna Paramatma. Thank you. Jai Sriman Narayana.